Hey, this is Rio with Unity Gaming Group, and today we are going to be just doing a quick little review. Might be a long review. I don't know. It's a something review on Salt 2. I picked this up yesterday, and this morning I looked for a save file that had money so that I could set up my single player just so I could kind of float around, do whatever I wanted. And I managed to get it all set up, and I got a nice boat, did all the stuff I needed to do to get into it and all that. But we're going to get started today on it, and yeah, I'm going to try to do it this way. So, that being said, it's currently nighttime here. I am on an island out in the middle of nowhere. Matter of fact, I haven't even gotten the thing yet. So, let's come over here. Whoa. What's going on? Why is it? There it goes. Right. So I'm still getting used to the controls, if you couldn't tell. But I think we finally slept. It should, yeah, the sun's coming out now. That's good. That's what we want. Put that away for now. They're pretty though. You know, for the simplicity of the game, here's the thing, and I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever played any pirate games like Atlas or Sea of Thieves, they all offer something, right? Atlas was probably the best one of all of them, not because it was updated on graphics, not because it was just a great game, but because it had everything that you would want in a pirate and sailing type game like this. Atlas had, you built your ship plank by plank, board by board, all the way up. You put your cannons on it, you put your grapple launchers on it, you put you made your cabins, you decorated them, and that was your base. It was your mobile base, which was really cool. Yeah, that was cool, that whale. But it was just a better game in that sense. And then when you went out, there was the danger of being attacked. I mean, you could, or you could initiate combat if you wanted to. I can't remember if there was some sort of level thing or some sort of protection, but you could, sail out and you could just go right by the stuff that was colored and that was sailing around. And sometimes it would attack you, sometimes it wouldn't. But the point is that you could actually have ship-to-ship combat. Now, in Sea of Thieves, that one I'm not too happy about. And here's the thing. I solo play on just about everything, and once in a great while I get a couple of pals in here and we all go out together, the gaming group people, and we'll go out and we'll crew up a ship and Sea of Thieves, and there'll be, two guys on cannons, one guy steering and the other guy repairing, and and it's cool, but it doesn't always happen. So soloing was impossible. I mean, it really is. There is really no way for you to be able to control the ship, the speed, the maneuvering, and reload the cannon, shoot the cannons, and then keep doing that until you kill whatever it is that's attacking you. And if you're playing an open play, open seas, forget it. Yeah, you need a crew. You need at least 2 or 3 guys with you. In order to have any sort of sporting chance. And even then, I mean, you can be out there with a full crew on a brig and some idiot on a sloop with his buddy jump over and wipe out your entire crew and sink your ship. So, I mean, it's so imbalanced in Sea of Thieves, but I love the graphic art style. I love the way the water looks when you're sailing. I love the storms, and I love the things that happen. It's like if they had put a better way to solo in Sea of Thieves to where you didn't have to rely on somebody else manning your cannons and things, it would have been a way better game, at least for solo play. But Salt 2 is where we ended up. I was talking to Steelhorse, another member of the Unity BSL group, and he said, have you tried Salt 2? And I was like, no, what's that? And so he showed me, he shared his screen with me. We looked at some of the stuff. And, for $10 on Steam, it's 50% off right now. It was worth just picking it up. So we did. So anyways, I started playing it yesterday. I found a save that had money that I installed. I think my guy's name is like Hagar or something. But it's a single player save. And, yeah, I managed to get a lot of this done. Got all my little workstations in. I think I'm missing one because on the other ship I had just enough room to walk, but I can't for the life of me remember what it was that I'm missing right now. I'm sure I'll remember it or I'll see it'll go, oh my god, I don't have that. But yeah, for now, I got the workbench, got the cartographer's bench, I got the forge, and I got the woodworking bench, and of course the weaving station. So maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. I don't know. I'd have to look at the multiplayer to figure that out. But anyways, so here's the nicest thing. Let's get to the parts that I really like about this game first. First off, I love that your ship is your base. I love that I don't have to base build anywhere. You know, it's all right here on my ship. I love that this one storage handles all of my inventory, and you can come through and you can get like the full list of everything that's in there. Or you can do like you can say, hey, I want to see what kind of weapons I'm storing, what kind of helmets or armor I'm storing, what do I have for ammo, you know, stuff like that. So I mean, it's a nice inventory system, and it's all encapsulated. And when you actually, I'm not sure if this storage transfers to other games, like to multiplayer, but I think you have to actually create a multiplayer game under the same name, maybe. But yeah, I mean, it's got a lot of interesting things that you can do. But I guess the storage is persistent on whatever multiplayer map you're playing on. So like if you've got, you know, 5 guys all playing at the same time, if they come up there and they look at this, it'll be their stuff in their box. Or if you look at it, it'll be your stuff in your box, which is really cool too. I like that. I like a lot of this. I mean, I love the water. I love the travel. It's simple. You know, to sail, you don't even have an anchor. You just stop sailing. You just retract your sail. And if you wanna move, you just pop a couple into it and you start moving. So as you can see, but we're gonna go ahead and just keep it all stopped for now. I like. There's a lot of underwater stuff that you can do. Like there's things you can harvest under there. And I found a couple of circles at night, so I went back and I got one of these weird hooky things. I forget what they're called, treasure grabber or whatever, and actually grabbed some treasure, which was cool. But I just like how simple it is, and it's relaxing. All right, so you don't feel like you don't have to worry too much about dangers. I mean, if you're worried about it, drop your stuff on easy, you know, the difficulty level, and then you'll be fine. I mean, literally, you can pretty much like 1 or 2 shot everything. So I think the only thing that I had a hard time with was the bears, but even then it wasn't that bad. So what do we got here? Is this an actual pirate camp? It is. So let's come over here and see what this guy does. Are you a friend or a foe? Foe. Okay. And she's now a dead foe. Hey, I want to loot you. Oh, she didn't have nothing on her anyways. Alright, so as you can see, it's not hard to fight, especially on easy mode. It's like simple. Let's just make sure I stay back for a second and I'll show you the settings. So you got difficulty here. You just put it on easy. There's normal. Normal's, for me, it was kind of hard on normal. At least not without friends. But, you know, you can arrange them. Kapow. Dead meat. Crap. I missed him. Got him that time, though. But yeah, you know, I mean, it's cool. I mean, it really is. It's a great game. It's simple. I like the low poly design. I was in Unreal Engine 5, and I had just got done doing water simulations. I had an ocean, and I had all the waves that were doing the flowy thing. And I was starting to build out the map and to use some, pre-generated stuff, right? So I was basically gonna just go ahead and use world streaming and then just make a giant ocean and then have, you know, pretty much have it pre-process all your islands randomly, place them, put encounters in, and I was starting to make a game just like this. And I thought, but if this fits the bill, then I'll go ahead and I'll just leave it like it is. Now, my only complaint with this is, like I said, no ship-to-ship combat. And if they should decide to implement it, they should do it simply. You know, from the you need to be able to control at least the cannons and things from the steering wheel as an extra option. All right, so that you can aim the cannons, fire the cannons, you know, that kind of thing. Not today. Oh, you're going to start drinking potions on me? What the hell's that about? Yeah, I don't think so. But anyways, you know, it's one of them things where I wish they had it, and I think if they were to add ship-to-ship combat in this game would blow up. It would be, there'd be people in it left and right. Long as you had the ability to have a PvE or a PvE PvP setting. I would prefer PvE. I don't mind blowing up enemy ships, you know, like NPC ships, but I wouldn't want another situation like Sea of Thieves where, you know, you're jumping off the steering wheel to adjust the sails, or drop an anchor and then spinning the wheel and trying to grapple onto their ship, or trying to shoot them with a cannon, and then you got to run and try to reload it and then come back and hope that you're still turning enough to where you can still hit them with the cannon. It was just a nightmare, man. I'm like, oh my God. So I really do like the fact that this game is what it is. Like I said, if I had to make one change and one change alone, I'd want NPC versus player ships out there, and the ability to fire from the wheel while you're steering the ship. That would be my only request. Otherwise, it's a fantastic game just like it is. It's low poly, yes. It runs well on just about anything. Even my little potato laptop in there can run it. And that's saying something, because that thing is, yeah, it chugs along. So, I mean, it's a great game. But I'll play you a little bit, and you can kind of see what's going on. Like I said, I found a money save, so I already took that and used it. Of course, it gave me the wrong name of my character, but hey, you know what? That's okay. So, usually I'm Rio the Dwarf Riordan or something. In this one, I'm like Hagar or something like that. Grab all this stuff. So those of you that aren't familiar with it, I found this out from Steel yesterday. So if you look at it and you hover over it and you don't see those webs, and then you grab everything, and now it shows those webs right there on the top left corner of the chest box, that means you've already looked at it, just in case you didn't know that. Let's go ahead and take a look here. We're going to just go ahead and loot this place, grab everything we can, because we need food. But I really dig this game. I like that I can decide to go out and I can play with my friends, get into multiplayer, or I can single player and just chill out and just do things at my own pace, the way I want to do them. And I don't have to worry about, you know, being hurried along by anybody or having too many people doing different things. One of the downfalls of this game, in my opinion, is that you have, if you're in multiplayer, and you want to go into a dungeon or something, or one of these cabins that require you to type enter, or, you know, hit F for enter, and then you got to wait. Because basically what happens is you got to wait for your friends to also hit enter, or you can't go in. That's one thing I didn't like. I didn't like that I couldn't go in by myself and they couldn't come in later. I don't know if that was because of a design flaw or an afterthought, but that was one of the things that kind of irked me a little bit. But then I thought, you know what? It's okay, because I can play the single player in it and you still do it. Oh. All right, let's make sure we grab everything. Nothing in that tent. We want all the bottles because we make healing potions and we need bottles for it. Also want to check around everything, because sometimes they just tuck like little bags and things around. Like right there, there's one on the ground. just tuck them in weird places, and so you could walk right by them and miss them. Now, I thought maybe I could get in here, but I don't see a way to. Can't push it, can't pull it. Probably can't break into it. No, there's no way in there. And I'm sure... Well, look. From there you can probably hit it. There you go. There you go. I got lucky. Nothing on him, though. And there's the workbench right here. You can come over here and craft stuff if you want. It's weird because there's workbenches all over the place. Oh, I love this right here. Oh, yeah, target practice time. That's another thing. I wish we had custom reticles. If you look, there is a very tiny dot. And that little dot right there. A little white dot. That's weird. It must be arrow drop because, let me see if I aim above the dot. Nope, it's still below it. Far way up here in the dot. It's a little better. Try the top of the white dot. Wow. You gotta aim high, really high, in order to bullseye. Not very accurate. Wrap them on arrows. Gotta go make some arrows too. But that requires wood, and of course, I don't have a whole lot of that just sitting. Can't pick up these planks, which would be nice if you could. Ooh. Boom, boom. Look, there's fire. It's the first time I've blown one of those up. Kind of cool. Alright, anyways. I gotta make some arrows, so I don't want to waste them. Killed them already. We're just kind of wandering around. We're gonna look for, you know, NPCs or, you know, boss level stuff or treasure chests. I still haven't found one of these so-called dirt mounds to dig up for buried treasure. I've been looking. Haven't seen any X marks the spots either. So, no, not sure on that. I mean, I really just don't know. But, I think, like I said, I think it's the whole idea of just being able to sail around. And if you want to, I mean, you can even chill out and you can fish, which I love that idea. I just whip out the fishing pole. Say, hey, man, I'm going to cast in right here. And it's an easy mini game for fishing. It's a whole lot of exploration. A little bit of combat when you're on land, but for the most part it ain't bad. I mean, some of the stuff like the big grizzly bears and the purple stuff, yeah, it can be tough. But, you know, make sure you keep potions on you and you'll be fine. There we go, got it. And I got a bream. Okay. So anyways, yeah, potions are a big deal. You want to make sure you got those consumables. Make sure you got these. I usually slot them on the bar. Probably should do that now, actually. Alright, so let's put that on number 6. So you hover over what you want to slot, and you hit the number that corresponds down below on your hotbar. Now I got them on number 6. Now if I get messed up by something, like I don't even know what's going on here. I must be hungry. Okay, yeah. There's all kinds of stuff to pick up too, like you can get these sticks. Wood, I haven't found a hatchet or anything to chop down trees. I'm not sure that exists. But, oh, what's this? You a good guy or a bad guy? You're a bad guy. Here you come. was he? He was a pirate swordsman. Well, now he's dead. Ah, must have been the lookout. The stuff in that chest. Okay. We've picked everything up. Don't bother trying to pick stuff up near the cooking pot. It doesn't work. The big tease. Like, yeah, by the way, we have stuff. No, you don't. What is that right there? If I can find my dot, there it is. Where's the damn dot? There it is. Got it. Yeah, that target reticle sucks. I think there's a mod though on the workshop that you can put in that'll allow you to put a proper target reticle so you can see what you're aiming at. So might be something to think about if you're going to run with mods. I don't run with mods because I have friends, and those friends may not have those mods, and I don't want to put them through anything. I want them to just be able to jump in and, you know, play when they want to. But this is what I've been doing for the last 2 days, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. Now that I have money, I'm not too worried about that. Now it's just about the exploration and sailing and fishing and just enjoying the game. So, which is pretty cool. And of course the leveling, because there is a leveling system and a skill system and all that. But as simple as this is, it's really kind of relaxing. I mean, when I'm stressed out or when I'm tired of like blowing stuff up and running and gunning all the time, you know, in other games, I like to come to this one and just chill out. So when I'm not playing like Cyberpunk, or I'm not doing like a Call of Duty or Battlefield or anything like that, this would be the game to come to and to just chill. I bet you there's probably a cave under this rock. Maybe. Seems like an awkwardly shaped... Yeah, there should be a cave entrance right there, I would imagine. Oh look, what's that? Is that a rock? That's a rock. I thought that was one of those dirt mounds it was talking about. So like I said, there's a dirt mounds, and X marks the spot places for treasure and a bunch of other stuff. And I think maybe the way you trigger that is you probably have to go and find a treasure map or something that leads you to it. And it can either be marked as an X or it can be a dirt mound that you have to dig up. Because, yeah, otherwise the shovel doesn't do anything. I'll make sure you grab these two. You want everything you can possibly grab. Let me see what else is over here. There should be some metal somewhere around here. And please forgive the fireworks. They started early and they're still going, and they're going to be going all night long. All right. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I'm digging this. You know, I play a lot of different games. I play everything from Cyberpunk 2077 to Skyrim to you name it. I mean, one of my favorite games, and you see this in TikTok a lot, right? So TikTok, there's always some gamer somewhere going, somebody give me a suggestion on a game. And I'm like, well, how can we do that? We don't know what kind of games you like. We don't know what kind of friends, what friend circle you have, and if they're interested in playing with you or not. But if even if you don't have friends, there's one game in particular that I absolutely guarantee you'll find something to do in, and that is Tower Unite. Last I checked, it was on sale. I think it was like $11.99 last I looked. It was like 40% off. Yeah, even at $20, it's worth it, because imagine going to an old school arcade that had all the box arcade games, the pinball, the pool tables, the little stuffy plushy toys things, and the gag jokes and all that stuff. That's what you're walking into, only it's a giant, almost a theme park. I would almost say it's like a giant fair, actually, because theme parks are a little bigger, but there are rides. There's a roller coaster. There's a Ferris wheel. There's bumper cars. There's the Dark Voyage, which is like one of those interactive rides that you would do at like Universal or Disney, where you ride the ride and you have a light gun and you have to shoot stuff and things are happening around you, which it's amazing. It's a lot of fun. That ride is great. You can see my video on that in the Tower Unite playlist here in my YouTube channel. But I'm telling you now, if you need a game and you don't want to play something like this, and you don't want to just go back to another survival game or go to some RPG you've played 100 times, Tower Unite is great. And it's also a social platform, right? So you can actually voice with other people and chat with them and interact and sit down and chill and just have a good time with somebody if you want to get to know them. You know, you can make friends. So, I mean, it's actually not a bad deal. I really like it. I really like it a lot. All right, so we got some copper here, I believe. I need to build that better pick. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But yeah, I mean, this is basically all it is you're going to follow these little quests. Like if you come over here to your tab and you go to your quests, you can pick up quests along the way, and there's like boards in some of the civilizations where they're friendly. There's miniature light towers there with little twist or turny things that you have to do to get the fast travel points. And there's different, you know, guilds that you can go and join and things like that. You know, they're like the Hunters Guild or the Fisherman's Guild or the Blacksmith Guild or the Mercenary Guild. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do, right? So when you come in here, there's just a wide variety of stuff that you can actually do. Like I've got, you know, skills here that I can do, archery. I've got a point that I can put in here if I wanted to. Not gonna, but you know, I want to think about that before I do it. You know, just some basic stuff. So, but yeah, I mean, it's a great game. I think you'll enjoy it, and hopefully, I'll see you in game at some point. Maybe you can join our multiplayer, or we can start one all together, or you know, anything really. But yeah. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and leave you at that because it's dark again. I'm going to go back to my ship, or I'm actually going to summon my ship over here, I think. And then I'll just, yeah, there we go. Let's do it this way. Where is my ship? It is. Go out to the ship. Go ahead and rest so it's daytime again, and I'll run around. But to be fair, I'll probably go over to Tower Unite and just chill out for the rest of the night. I've been playing this since early this morning. Matter of fact, I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, or actually I went to bed at 5 o'clock in the morning after already going to bed twice. And I got on for a little while, and that's when I found this save. So, but yeah, I think you're going to have a good time. Just know that, you know, a multiplayer, you know, none of that stuff will probably work. You can't use like a save or something. You're going to have to just, you know, grin and bear it. Make sure whoever hosts it is going to, you know, creates it, you know, crank the damage down a little bit, you know, just do like easy instead of normal, and things will be much easier for everybody. But I'll try to remember that next time we do a multiplayer, because normal is pretty hard and easy is just about right if you decide you want to solo, or if you do have people that are around that want to play, you know, you can at least get through the content. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I don't usually use my webcam. I thought tonight I would, just so you can kind of see a little bit of the studio here. It's funny because if you go to our Tower Unite, my condo, I think it's called Black Sun Legion, or Black Sun / Unity and - Rio's Villa, and you go in there and you look around. If you go to the studio, it's actually laid out just like it is here in real life. So I thought that was pretty fun. I ended up doing that. I had to make a couple of adjustments because our printer stand is a printer stand and printer, not a huge fax machine, which or copy machine, which you had to have in Tower Unite. But anyways, there's a lot to do, and I'm gonna get on out of here. I've talked your ears off, and it's time to get to work on playing something, or maybe even jumping in the kit and starting to work on something. So I'll talk to you later.